Hi everyone, this is Rhonda Rawlings, and I have the pleasure to be speaking to Dr. Cedrek McFadden, who is a board-certified surgeon as well as an African-American health advocate. Thank you so much for interviewing with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, November is Diabetes Awareness Month. Diabetes is affecting so many people, but it is a disease that is disproportionately affecting the African-American community, correct?
It is, and like many diseases that we talk about, when it comes to African Americans, more of us are affected. And it's unfortunate because in many cases, it creates challenges for getting the care that you need, finding the doctors that you need, and really finding the information that you need to make the best health decisions for you and your family.
Definitely. Now, let's start a little bit from the beginning. So diabetes, there's two types.
Yes.
There's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes.
Correct. So type 1, they used to call it juvenile diabetes, affecting really younger children. And it's really autoimmune type disorder where your body doesn't make the insulin or very little of that insulin that's important. So insulin is required to store the sugar into the proper places in your body. If it doesn't get into the cells, it floats in the bloodstream, and that creates problems. That creates the damage to the liver, to the kidney, to the eyes, to the feet. And so you have to be able to store that insulin. Type 1 diabetes, you don't make that insulin to do the job. In type 2, the insulin that you make, your body doesn't respond to it. It's ineffective. And so therefore, you have circulating high amounts of sugar or glucose that shouldn't be there that creates problems.
Now, there is good news to it all, though, right? Because diabetes is something that can be highly manageable as well as preventable for type 2, correct?
Yes. Type 2, you may have heard the term pre-diabetes, and unfortunately, 1 out of 3 people who have pre-diabetes, they don't know that they are pre-diabetic. And that creates a challenge for them to prevent it and from progressing further. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented with doing the good stuff, eating and exercising. Most of us don't really exercise as we should, right? So you should be getting about, 3 to 4 days of 30, 40 minutes of exercise. You should be eating the colors of the rainbow, your fruit, your vegetables, your whole grains, and really staying away from a lot of the processed foods, a lot of the fats that many of us cook with. Those are things you have to have on a very limited basis, if at all.
And there's so many different ways, like you mentioned exercise, which I know I need to boost up my exercise. And that could be even just, don't think of exercise as something that's extremely strenuous, but walking could be something that you do.
Correct. Okay. You want to do something that's going to get your heart rate up.
Right.
And you want to do that most days of the week. And if you find that, most people who walk get very comfortable with walking. Once you get comfortable with walking, take it up a notch. Take it up a notch and do some other things. And there are many things you could do, whether it be from weightlifting, getting some strength training, whether it be riding a bike, jump roping. There's lots of options, even skating, ice skating, or even roller skating. Those are other ways you can get the heart rate up.
What I find really helpful is to find something that I enjoy doing and then let that be my exercise. So for me right now, that's walking. I do have a bicycle. Maybe I need to get more active on the bicycle. So diet, that is a big concern, especially here in the South. A lot of people are turning to vegetarian or vegan diets. Do you find that helpful in the prevention?
It can be.
Manageability?
It can be. And I just be very clear that just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthier, right? Because a vegan diet also includes Coca-Cola, Oreos, and French fries. And those are things that you still want to stay away from.
Right?
It's vegan,
but
it's still may not be healthy.
Yes.
Focus on foods that are whole food, plant-based foods. Making sure if you're eating, a potato, perhaps getting a potato and just putting it in the oven instead of frying it. If you want orange juice, take the orange and squeeze the juice without the additives that come in sort of the package. Think about eating sort of whole food, plant-based diets. That goes a long way to keeping you, first of all, it can prevent diabetes, and it can, in many cases, reverse diabetes. It can actually cure diabetes just focusing on a whole food, plant-based diet.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out today. We know that there is so much that we can do to improve our health and to be more proactive about our health. Where can people find out more information? I know you have a website, but where can people find out more information with just to keep themselves on top of the tips that they need to keep themselves healthier?
Yeah, so I think one of the sites, the American Diabetes Association, they have a website with a lot of patient education. You could also look at any of your local hospitals. Most of them have links, especially if you're in the city. The hospitals have links to educational material that can be beneficial for you and your family. You can find me also online as well, CedrekMD, CedrekMD.com, or even online on social media at CedrekMD as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Absolutely.
Want to hope that wishing everyone a happy and healthy holiday season, and let's be proactive about our health year around.